So I see a lot of you guys are asking me in my comment sections and on Discords to make an up-to-date dark mono team building guide. Why not? It's a hot topic right now. Commander Forte just came out, so let's go on ahead and talk about it. Some stuff has changed with mono dark since the release of Commander Forte and since the last time I did that video, but not too much, so it's gonna be practically the same stuff for the most part. But I will tell you that mono dark got a lot more options now compared to what they used to have. Before we get any further in the video, let me say this. If you're not subscribed yet, you should subscribe to the channel. 40% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel, and it only takes 2 seconds. Because hey, if you subscribe, you don't have to keep typing in my name on the search bar 24/7 to try to watch my video. It just pops up in your sub box. So hey man, why not save yourself some time and click that subscribe button. Now real quick, let's talk about what mono dark is before we even tell you how to build it, play it, all that type of stuff. Mono dark is a team that for the most part wants to kill the boss as fast as possible, aka nuking. There's not really too many sustained damage dealers in mono dark. The best one that everyone knows is like Shuri and Dkane. Those guys aren't necessarily nukers, even though Dkane can be used in some nuke compositions because of her arts damage buff that she gives on normal art. But we'll talk about that in a second and talk about all the different combinations you can do. So whenever you're getting into the team, you do need to know that, because if you're trying to do sustained damage or you're trying to take them into harder content where you can't maybe one-shot the boss because your equips aren't that great, or the boss has some mechanic to where it just won't get one-shotted, they're not going to be the best in those situations. They're more so better in any type of farming event. If you need to farm a giant boss, they're really good in that because they can just insta-kill a giant boss. They're good for farming crest as well in like B3. They can insta-kill the B3 boss like it's nothing, and they can be used in actually some luck events as well. A major problem with the team, however, is the thing that it's known for is nuking, and not every event or boss can be nuked because there's mechanics in the game that negates nuking, or the boss may just have too much HP to where it's in no possible way for them to nuke it. So you gotta take that into account whenever you're using the team. It's not the best for every situation. If you're looking for something like that, you're probably better off using just a universal team with multiple different elements all on the same team, just being very cohesive with each other, than using a mono dark team because they're all about the damage and nuking and all that. That's all I want to say about mono dark. Now let's talk about how to build it. Now unit wise, mono dark is very simple to build to an extent. You start seeing a lot more complexity whenever you start adding in the equipment. However, that's whenever you see like, oh, this is kind of tough, because sometimes you may have all the units but you don't have all the equipment. And unfortunately, mono dark is a more veteran oriented team, and the reason why it's veteran oriented because it's heavily reliant on equipment as well as their units. So let's talk about the most popular one right now, the most popular team comp that you'll see for mono dark probably till the end of time, or until another nuker comes out that's better than the current one that's on the team. Commander Forte, Dkane, Dark Finn, and the boy Rags. Why are these guys on the team, and what makes them so good about being on the team? Well, Commander Forte is a dark supporter, and she's also a human supporter too, but you're gonna be seeing her on the mono dark nuke teams, and she's just amazing. She makes the team very, very consistent. Before this, there was some times where you couldn't nuke stuff because you didn't have enough art gauge, but now with her release, she's gonna make it to where you always have your true art. You never have to worry about that, especially if you have Finn on the team as well. You never have to worry about art gauge at all. Also, her slots are fantastic for nuking, and she gives a pretty substantial damage buff as well with her true art. Dkane is here for one simple reason. He is our other nuker on the team, our other damage dealer apart from Rags, and Dkane's going to be increasing everybody's attack by 100% and also damage by 15%. We won't be stacking this, by the way. Dkane's true art is stackable, so let's say you use it twice in a fight, then you'll get 30% damage up and not just 15, because it increases by 15 every time you use his true art. But you won't really be doing that too much, so it's pretty much 15% damage up. Dark Finn is here, and Finn is pretty much here more so for his passive and his slots as well. Especially his true weapon really makes him a very good unit for mono dark. His true weapon increases his critical damage that he deals as a passive, and also his true weapon skill allows him to debuff the enemy with 30% damage resist down. And then with his true art, he makes it even more consistent, because whenever he pops his true art, everybody on his team gets 20 art gauge. So if somebody doesn't have enough arts, maybe that 20 art gauge is enough to bump them to their true art. Also, he has tactics, which is the same thing that Commander Forte has. However, it's called something different for Commander Forte, so their arch gen buffs are able to stack. So whenever her and Dark Finn are on the same team and they both load into a quest, everybody on your team gets 100 art gauge instantaneously. And the last but not least one is the boy Rag. This man has withstood the test of time, ladies and gentlemen. He has been here since 2018, and man, he is still a good unit. He is such a strong nuker, and the reason why he's lasted for so long is because of his slots and his passive. Whenever Rags consumes his own HP or he loses his own HP, he increases his attack and defense all the way up up to ×2 depending on how much HP he has lost. So that means he's going to skyrocket his attack. And having a feigning unit on your team, especially when like Rags, and he has a high chance to feint, because in harder content that you're nuking, that feint can save you and stop the boss from dealing damage to you so you can get all your damage off and insta-kill it. Also, Rags' slots. I already said it. Amazing for nuking. 5-star physical, 5-star magic, and a 5-star support. Definitely deserves to be the final boss of Grand Summon. Now we talked about the units. We talked about why they're here. Now here comes the thing that a lot of you guys that are newer to the game, that haven't been playing the game for that long, are gonna not like, because the equipment is pretty gacha oriented and it's also pretty crossover oriented. So a lot of the equips are very exclusive. There is some free-to-play equips in here, but not too many. I was post a screenshot up on screen right now of what I am running on my current team. I've been running this for a little bit, been experimenting with how I can increase my damage a little bit more. So if you don't know what these items do, I'm going to tell you. Old Toguro is a damage buff. That's all you need to know about it. True Nemesis Crow is dark resist down. This is a true weapon, and this is a must-have on any mono dark team. You need this item, and if you don't have it, your mono dark team isn't going to hit as hard as they should be hit. Goku uniform is here because that's more art gauge plus it's more damage. The Gem of Rags is here for 50% art damage up for the whole team, so it's even more of a damage buff. Type 0 just gives 50 art gauge to everyone. Okay, for 4-star magic, you see we have Forte's boots. There's not too many good 4-star magics in the game. Whenever they add better ones, then you will probably switch this out, but at the current moment, they've never added a very strong 4-star magic. If they ever add a 4-star magic that increases all allies damage or increases all allies dark damage, you probably want to put that in over Forte's boots just so you can have more damage overall, but who knows if they will ever add that. Dkane is next. Dkane has Genos Fest. This is a damage buff to himself by 30% and then 20% physical damage to everybody else. Also, he gets 20% physical damage buff as well, so it's like 50% damage buff for him specifically. It's very good. I've been using it a lot. I don't think it's required though. You could probably switch this out with anything like his true weapon or anything like that. Snippity Snips, this is from Kill la Kill, and this is a physical resist down by 20%, so it's increasing majority of my team's damage. The only one that's not physical damage is Defend, and it also increases my BE output, so if I do need a little bit extra art gauge, I instantly have it. And for the defense item slot, this can change depending on what you're fighting. Personally, I use Dkane's 4-star event equip because it gives you Fatal Blow, and if you don't know what Fatal Blow does, it's 10% more critical damage, so it increases Dkane's damage by a little bit more. As for Defend, what we're running is his true weapon, which is very strong on him, like I just mentioned. Letter Bag, which gives everybody the 100% crit chance on your team plus the damage up. And the magical outfit is here just because it's probably the best 4-star magic we have in the game right now. It doesn't really increase our damage, but it's the only thing I have. So as you can see, all these items are damage buffing us in some way, and most of them are pretty exclusive or pretty heavily reliant on the gacha. And that's why the team is more cared towards veterans than new players, because you really can't make this as a new player and they expect it to have the same results as a veteran player making the team. But this isn't the best equipment setup you can run. This is just my equipment setup. If you have other items that damage buff your party or damage buff yourself, use them. And that's pretty much all it goes for equipment. Just make sure you're able to get your true arts no matter what, and then also make sure that you're damage buffing your team. That's pretty much the main guideline I can give you for equipment. As for replacements on the team, if you don't want to use this exact team, there's other combinations and other things you can do. You can throw in Regulus onto the team if you want, if you maybe don't have Rags. If you don't have Commander Forte, you could throw in Regulus then, or Hiei. They both do the same thing pretty much. You could also use Dcelia as well. Dcelia is a phenomenal unit to throw in because with her slots and everything, and with her normal art, she gives 50% more arts damage to everyone. She's a very strong nuke supporter in that regard, even though she's a sustained damage dealer. You could also use Rim if you want, if you're fighting a light boss, so you can lower the enemy's dark resist. There's tons and tons of options you can use for mono dark when it comes to units. Really, the only restrictive part about mono dark comes down to the equipment. You can really throw in any type of combination that you want with mono dark, as long as everybody's a dark unit and they're all benefiting off of each other in some way, then they're gonna work and they're gonna deal tons of damage, especially if you have the right equips and stuff to make them deal that damage. It's gonna be insane for you. And I think that comes to the end of this video, guys. That is my up-to-date mono dark team building guide. That's what I recommend you guys do. This is what I recommend you guys use. Of course, if you have any more questions about mono dark or anything like that, you can always ask in the comment section or ask in my Discord. In the GS section, there's always people helping in there. But thank you all for coming out. It's been your boy P. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for more. You guys have been killing the support of the channel recently. We're almost at 20K. We are so very close, and I cannot thank you guys enough for that. We have a very special video planned for that, and yeah, it's gonna be a very exciting time whenever we get to that. But guys, thank you all for coming out. It's been your boy P. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for more. And last but not least, man, don't forget to drink water.